Hi, I'm Hetty, and you're watching Scott Trans. Just a quick content warning before the start of this week's video. Today's topic is about coming out. So some of the themes I'll be talking about today will include things such as transphobia, and homelessness, and abuse. Um, just if you find those sort of things triggering, you might not want to watch this. That's totally cool. Just thought I'd put a quick content warning on this video just because like content warnings have helped me in the past when I've watched stuff and it's been triggering. So anyway, today's topic is should you come out? Should you come out? Now, I think that question there's not really a definitive answer to it. I think it completely depends on the person and what situation you're in. Um, if you're in a situation where if you came out it wouldn't threaten where you live in, yeah, and the people around you would most likely be positive towards it, I think that's cool. Come out, you'll be happier and everyone will support you, but I don't always think it's the best idea for someone to come out. It's, in certain situations, coming out can actually make things a lot worse. Um, Example, if you came out to your family and your family were not very supportive how you being trans, that could lead to all sorts of things, lead to abuse, transphobia from family, even homelessness. So I think you've just got to be careful and you've got to weigh up the situation and feel, is it right for me to come out? And if you come out, that's great. But if you don't come out, you're also just as valid. I do feel there's quite a lot of pressure within the LGBT community to come out. That coming out is like this big thing that everyone needs to do. I kind of disagree with that. I think in an ideal world where we didn't have homophobia and transphobia and all the other phobias like acephobia, biphobia, it would be great for everyone to come out. But unfortunately, we live in a world where there's still a lot of discrimination about today. So I don't think it's always the best thing for someone to come out, um, because for some people, coming out could put them in danger. Um, so I think to answer the question, should you come out? Yes, if you feel it's safe to do so, but no, maybe not if it's not the safest thing to do. I think you've just got to assess the situation for yourself and think about, is this the best thing to do for me myself right now? Is this the safest thing to do? It is shite being in the closet. Like, I've been there myself, um, and sometimes it does feel like it would be better to come out of the closet than deal with all the potential stuff that might happen if you came out. But I think it's entirely up to you if you feel comfortable to come out or not. If you feel comfortable to come out, great. If you don't feel comfortable to go out, that's just as valid. That's cool. You're still you. Like, just like it's equally valid decision, and they both to come out or to stay in the closet both make sense, um, and you're all valid anyway. Um, so since it's National Coming Out Day and the topic of today's video is about coming out, um, I thought I would share my own story about coming out. This is where the video might get a bit depressing, because I do touch upon quite a few serious themes. I'll try to make it a bit light-hearted. I'll try to put a little bit of jokes in there and that, not dwell too much on the negative. But just as a warning, it does get quite heavy at parts. Um, So I've been out for about 3 years. Initially came out to friends at university, and most of them were quite supportive. Apart from one guy who was not supportive at all, and he was quite transphobic towards me, but that all got sorted out, and I don't need to see him again, so that's all right. Um, while I was at uni, I was out at uni. I was wearing feminine clothing. I was feeling a lot more like myself. I was feeling a lot more confident, a lot more comfortable in who I was. Um, I was just feeling a lot better now I had came out, and it was really good for me. Um, but I just had the lingering thought in the back of my head that I'm not sure if I can come out to my parents or not when I have to go home for the summer. Um, so I got quite upset about that. Was worried, worried, worried. Initially, I was not going to come out to them at all. I was just going to stay in the closet while I was at home, but I kind of felt like I couldn't really do that because I just felt a lot more happier in myself that I was out, and I'd be worried of it accidentally slipping out as well, and that could be a lot worse unless I straight up told them. So I ended up going out to them, and initially they were quite positive, which I was surprised about, which was good. Then the next day, not so much. Said quite a few comments about me that were quite transphobic, just generally unpleasant towards me, and not dwell on it too much. But basically, the gist of it was my dad came to get me to take me back to um, home, and then there was a lot of arguments, a lot of fighting, and basically what ended up happening was I was left with nowhere to stay, so I had to sofa surf around the country for a bit. I'd got in touch with the uni. The uni were really, really supportive. Actually, they got accommodation sorted for me back in Stirling in about 2 weeks, which is like really fast to get something like that sorted. So I was basically sofa surfing around the UK. Started off in Newcastle, then went to Leeds, then went to Leamington Spa, then went to Cambridge, and then back up to Stirling once. Once there was a place for me to stay in Stirling, and not gonna lie, it wasn't the best experience coming out, and then essentially being made homeless and sofa surfing around the country. But I would say personally, I think in myself at least, I feel a lot happier that I can be myself, and a lot happier that I'm free of family, who in hindsight I found to be quite abusive. I'll not go into it, but they were terrible basically. Um, I think if someone was in my situation, I don't really know what to say to them, whether to come out or not. I think at the end of the day, it needs to be your own decision. Um, I don't think anyone else can like tell you what to do, whether to come out or not. It's entirely up to you. It's your decision. I think in some ways I made a good call. A lot happier now. Um, I don't have to deal with my family anymore. I can be myself. I've got quite a good group of friends up here. I'm just generally happier, to be honest. But I think if I hadn't had some sort of backup plan, like potential places to stay and that, it could have been a lot worse. But I think I'm glad I came out because I am happy. It was rubbish that I ended up homeless and that, but I think the end of the day, I'm glad I came out, and I'm doing a lot. I'm really happy now. I'm doing a lot better than I used to be. It was hard. It was hard at first, but I've kind of came back from that, and I help with friends as well. I'm doing a lot better than I was, which is good. So yeah, should you come out? I don't think I can answer that. Um, I don't think I can answer that. I think it's entirely up to you, and whatever decision you decide to make, whether to come out or stay in the closet, is the right decision. If you feel it's the right decision, it's the right decision. And I don't think anyone should have the right to tell you it isn't, frankly. And I do think that there is a lot of pressure to come out. And I don't think you necessarily have to succumb to that pressure. You've just got to do what's good for you, because at the end of the day, you look after yourself, make sure your mental health's good, make sure your physical health's good, make sure that you're safe, you've got somewhere to live, you've got friends. You just need to look after yourself at the end of the day. So this has been today's video. This has been Friday with Hetty on Scott Trans. This one's been a bit longer. I know the video quality isn't the best. I'm going to try and sort that out for the next few weeks. Just bear with me on that, but the sound should be alright. So yeah, hope you're all keeping well, and yeah, I'll see you next week.